Hello everyone, we welcome you back to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be discussing few MCQs related with Ups and Gynae, and this is part 4. The first question is, narrowest part of fallopian tube is option A, interstitial part, option B, isthmus, option C, ampulla, option D, infundibulum. The correct answer here is the correct answer here is A. A is the correct option. I'll be discussing in brief about the various parts of fallopian tube. This interstitial part is also known as intramural part. There are 4 parts of fallopian tube. First one is interstitial part or intramural, which is the narrowest, and isthmus, ampulla, and infundibulum. Ampulla is the site for fertilization, where fertilization takes place, and infundibulum, there are 20 to 25 fimbria are present, finger-like projections. So yes, we will be discussing in a bit details about these various parts of the fallopian tube. The fallopian tubes, please remember, it is a site of fertilization, and it is also known as a uterine tube or oviducts. It is also commonly asked questions. Oviducts is other name of what? It is fallopian tubes, and it's a fibromuscular tubes transport ovum from ovary to uterus. And the length of this fallopian tubes also, they used to ask what is the length of fallopian tube. It is 10 to 12 centimeter. And the various parts is, as I've already told, that intramural part, isthmus, ampulla, and the infundibulum. This first one I already marked there. It is 1 mm diameter and length. The first one, that is the intramural part or interstitial part, is 1 mm in diameter, whereas the length is 1.25 centimeter, whereas the isthmus is 2 mm in diameter, the length is 2.3 centimeters. So from these two value we can note the difference between isthmus and intramural part, whereas the ampulla part is the longest region. It's the longest region, as you can see, it's already written here, and it's a site for fertilization, and it is diameter is 5 mm, whereas the length is 6 mm. Number 4 is the infundibulum. It is 6 mm diameter, the length is 1.25 centimeter. So these are the 4 parts of fallopian tubes. Next question. Human placental lactogen is secreted by option A, adrenal, option B, ovary, option C, decidua, option D, syncytiotrophoblast. The correct answer here is D. Syncytiotrophoblast secreted HPL or human placental lactogen. This HPL helps in to prevent from gestational diabetes mellitus for mothers during pregnancy, because this HPL, it has an anti-insulin effect. We'll be discussing in details about this. Human placental lactogen, also called human chorionic somatomamotrophin HCS, is a polypeptide placental hormone. The human form of placental lactogen, chorionic somatomamotrophin, its structures and function are similar to those of human growth hormone. It modifies the metabolic state of mother during pregnancy to facilitate the energy of the fetus. Here they wrote HPL has anti-insulin properties. HPL is a hormone secreted by the syncytiotrophoblast during pregnancy. Next question. The hormones secreted by anterior pituitary are all except A. FSH, B. LS, T. TSH, D. Oxytocin, and E. Growth hormone. The correct answer here is oxytocin. There are only two hormones secreted by the posterior pituitary gland. That is oxytocin and ADH or vasopressin. These are the only two hormones secreted by the posterior pituitary gland, where all the others hormones are secreted by the anterior pituitary glands. Next questions. 8 to 16 cell stage embryo is called A. blastomere, B. zygote, C. blastula, D. morula. The correct answer here is D. morula. 8 to 16 cell stage embryo is called morula. Zygote divides rapidly via the process of cleavage. Each division doubles the number of cells. The 8 to 16 cell stage embryo starts attaining a bolus shape and is hence called a morula. The morula later transform into a blastula and then a blastocyst. Please remember, first morula, then transform into blastula, and then finally into a blastocyst. Next question. What is the correct lineage of a zygote? Option A, zygote, blastomere, morula, and blastocyst. B, zygote, blastula, morula, and blastocyst. C, zygote, morula, blastomere, blastocyst. D, zygote, blastocyst, blastula, and blastomere. Correct answer here is A. Zygote, blastomere, then morula, and then blastocyst. Zygote undergoes rapidly cleavage to form 2, 4, 6 and then 8 blastomeres. Then zygote form blastomeres, then undergo few more rounds of division to form morula. Cells divide further to form a hollow ball called a blastula. This is followed by a minor differentiation of cells to produce a blastocyst. So first zygote, then blastomeres, then morula, then finally blastocyst. Next question. In human females, the fertilized eggs get implanted in the uterus after 1 month of fertilization, 2 months of fertilization, 7 days of fertilization, 3 weeks of fertilizations. In human females, the fertilized eggs get implanted in the uterus. Implantation occurs within 7 days after fertilization. 7 days of fertilization. Please remember the site of fertilization. It is the ampulla in the fallopian tube, whereas the site of implantation, this is also very commonly asked, it is in the uterus. Commonly asked question, where does implantation occur and where does fertilization occur? So remember these two. Next question. Corkscrew shaped endometrial gland is seen in option A, late secretory phase, B, early proliferative phase, C, late proliferative phase, D, early secretory phase. This is occur in the corkscrew endometrial gland is seen in the early secretory phase. This is during this various phase of menstrual cycle, where the shape of endometrial gland is corkscrew shape during early secretory phase. This image is not clear. Due to presence of glycogen secretions, there is irregular configuration of these uterine glands or endometrial glands form a corkscrew shape. In the secretory phase facilitated by LH luteinizing hormone, the endometrial glands become corkscrew shape and filled with glycogen. They secrete a glycogen rich secretion during secretory phase after evolution. So this is it for today. Thank you. If kindly like, share and subscribe.